We made it to another Sunday. It's hard to believe it's been a week since the last time I led a pranayama live on Facebook. Time is becoming a very strange thing to measure. We don't have our usual comings and goings that help us mark time. Weekends feel like weekdays and it's all relative. I remember a teacher early on in my practice who used to say that time is a construct of human beings, and never more have I thought how true that was than the days since, I guess it was March 16th was when we started this whole stay-at-home thing. So structure is important, and putting some pauses into your day is also important. And one of the things I've noticed about a pranayama or breathing practice for me has been how grounding it is, how clarifying it is to the mind, and how calming it can be. So I'm happy that I've started doing this weekly. Maybe it will continue beyond when we're on the other side of this, whatever that looks like. So today I thought I'd add a third demonstration. And if you've watched any of my other pranayama practice tutorials here on Facebook Live, you may have noticed that there's a sound that comes with my breath. And I do practice Ujay breath. That's a Sanskrit word. I believe it translates to victorious breath. It is a practice of constricting the back of the throat so that as the air passes through, it makes a noise. And you may have heard it talked about as the Darth Vader sound, an oceanic sound, the sound that you hear when you hold a large shell up to your ear, that oceanic kind of sound. It has a practical purpose. When you're practicing yoga, it helps bring a sound to the breath, which helps you tune into it, and it's also heating. So I used to practice Ujjayi at the bus stop when I used to commute into New York City years ago. And on cold days, I would practice Ujjayi breath just to help myself stay warm, because it can build heat in the body. And I guess the best way to demonstrate it is just to break it down. So if you were to go to a mirror and try to fog up the mirror with your breath, you would go, right? And so that constriction that you feel when you at the mirror or the glass is what creates that sonorous sound, even with the mouth closed and as you breathe through the nose. So it takes a little bit of practice to get it on the inhale to make noise, but on the exhales is usually a little bit more accessible. So what I try to do is envision that that ha sound. Breathe through the nose, and then exhale through the nose, keeping that constriction of the throat. So hopefully you can hear that. I'm using my Bluetooth speakers, which hopefully pick up the sound that the Ujjayi breath creates. So let's practice that. Let's first start with, imagine that you're coming up to a glass or a mirror. You can even put your hand in front of your face if you like. And take a deep inhale through the nose. And then open the mouth. Do that one more time. Now breathe regularly. Keep the mouth closed. Good. Inhale. Good. And with everything else, it takes practice. So just work on developing the sound that you can hear, and eventually it'll be loud enough that when we're back in a studio environment, maybe your yogi on the mat next to you will hear it. It's kind of cool. So we'll go back to the alternate nostril breathing. Assuming you have clean hands, we're going to touch the face. So, good hygiene, that lesson has already been given. I like to teach it with the peace fingers on the third eye, the thumb on the right cheek, and the ring finger on the left cheek with the pinky just resting. The right thumb will go to the top of the nostril, just right where the cartilage ends, and then the right ring finger will go on the left side, just where the cartilage ends. So you're not trying to shove your nose from side to side. You're just closing off the airway. And your left hand would be in Gyan Mudra, and I didn't say this, but you want to make sure you're sitting comfortably with a tall spine, collarbones spread wide, and just begin to notice your breath. You can shut down the eyes and just come into a rhythm that you can maintain, something that fills you up, belly, ribs, and chest. And then exhale, let the breath leave you. Inhale to receive the breath. And exhale, let it go. Good. Place the peace fingers on your third eye, fingers in position, preparing to close off alternate nostrils. Just breathe in through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Right thumb closing right nostril, inhale left. Close left nostril, open right, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, open left, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, open left, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale away from the face. Pause. And breathe normally through the nose. Blink open the eyes. Bring the room back into focus. Notice how you feel. For me, it's just such a calming, kind of loopy feeling, but it's so pleasurable. I don't know. The more I practice it, the more I fall in love with it. So our next practice is going to be square breathing, which I went over last week, but in case you missed it, what we're going to do is lengthen the pause between the inhale and the exhale, creating like a visual. It can help to visualize a square. So we often think of the breath as a two-part experience. It's an in and an out, but the truth is that once you get to the top of your inhale, there's a brief pause before the body exhales, and then there's another brief pause at the bottom before the body inhales. So square breathing would be inhale for 4, pause for 4 with the full breath, and then slowly exhale for 4, stay empty for 4, then inhale 4. So you would do this to really lengthen the space between breaths, and it can be kind of triggering for some people because holding the breath is not always a safe or happy feeling. So just notice if you have any experience with that, and if that starts to happen, just exhale and let it go, and then maybe hold for only 2 breaths, or shorten the pause. But I'll demonstrate, and I will snap to signify the rhythm. So again, begin in a comfortable seat, however that is for you. Tall spine, broad collarbones, shoulders down and away from the ears, eyes closed. And then you just take a full breath just to clear everything out through the nose. And so what you do is you inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold out for 4. So let's try it. I'm going to cue you, so if you missed that first demo, just listen to what I'm saying and then visualize what's happening. So we're going to take a full inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, empty, 2, 3, 4, good. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, stay full, 4, 3, 2, 1, release, 4, 3, 2, 1, stay out, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. Take a breath in and let it go. We're going to try that one more time. I'm going to engage you with looking at the screen. You can close your eyes down. You don't have to You don't have to see what I'm doing, just really get into your breath, but if you need to look at the camera, that's fine too. So just be comfortable and let yourself experience the breath. So let's begin with just one full round of breath. Inhale fully and exhale fully. Begin. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay empty. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay full. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay empty. 3, 2, 1. Good. And we'll pause and just breathe. And let that go. Good. Let's try one more round. This time I'll just snap and I'll practice with you. So get comfortable once again. Maybe shift if your legs are feeling a little tingly from being seated. Close down the eyes. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And let that go. And begin. Blink the eyes open. Bring the room back into focus. So the fun thing about square breathing is you can do it anywhere. You don't have to use Ujjayi breath. You can just count the breath. Any form of pause, any length of pause between the inhale and the exhale is great. I know from one Facebook Live participant from last week, she's been practicing at night if she wakes up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, just to help her calm down and go back to sleep. And I will admit to having done that a couple of times as well. So I thank you for joining me in this brief live, and we will post it to the Studio 108 YouTube channel. And I encourage you to practice pranayama wherever you find yourself feeling a little stressed or anxious. It really is a great way to come into tune with yourself and your breathing, which you always have with you. So be well, stay safe, and I love you.